Assalam-o-Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the last class, we have learnt about the phrases in which we have learned about the possessive phrase, that is muzaf, muzaf ilay, murakkab tawsifi. There are few things from the topic muzaf, muzaf ilay is left to discuss, but right now we are not going to discuss that topic any sooner. Because I think it's better if first we complete few more basic topics and then we will be learning all the left out chapter from muzaf, muzaf ilay or any other chapter, or you can say just the whole from the Tasheel Un Nahw book. And also the major part of this book is based on tarkeeb, and for every exercise and for every example the writer has given a lot of tarkeeb. So the same thing you're also going to learn, and how to do tarkeeb and what are the rules which we have to keep in mind while doing tarkeeb. So everything related to tarkeeb we will be also going to learn later, inshallah. So right now I'm going to teach you this book in my own basic style. So this will help you to understand and grasp upon all the basic topic of Nahw as well as Sarf. So if you are able to remember everything I'm going to teach you or I taught you in the last two videos, that is enough for you for the better understanding of Nahw as well as Arabic grammar. So in last class we have learned about muzaf, muzaf ilay. I'm not going to remind you what is muzaf and muzaf ilay and what is murakkab naqis or murakkab tam. If you don't remember or you don't able to recall it, simply go and watch the previous video. All the lectures are connected with each other. So whenever you are watching any new lesson, be sure and confident that you have understood the last chapter very well. If there is a little mistake, or if you are not able to understand completely any topic, it will be a very huge difficulties for you in the going forward with the new lessons. It will be very difficult for you. So my suggestion is, do not watch the next new video unless you have already understood the last class. It's okay if you don't able to remember it. See, memorizing one thing or understanding the same thing is totally different. It is possible that you understand something very well, but you are not able to memorize it very well. So memorizing something, it doesn't mean that you understood that thing very well. But if you understood something very well, even though you are very weak in memorization, it is okay, you can able to understand and go forward with that. Today I'm going to teach you few more topics which is related to Arabic grammar, which is actually related to ism only. And why I'm going to teach you those topics? Because the thing for knowing or learning the murakkab tawsifi, we required the learning of those chapters first. So for understanding this first part of murakkab naqis, that is murakkab tawsifi, we have to go through few other chapters as well. So that's what we are going to do in this video. So let's jump in our today's class. Okay, so today we are going to learn about jins, or you can say it's a gender. So in this lesson we are going to learn about types of ism based on gender, or that is called jins. In Arabic there are two types of ism as per gender. One is called mudhakkarun which is male or masculine, and another one is muannas, female, which is called feminine. So ism divided into two parts as per its gender. One part is muzakar, another part is muannas. Now, how we can able to understand which ism is muzakkar and muannas? For that, we learn sign of muannas first. Sign of muannas. So, the first sign of muannas is any word which ends with taye tanis or taye marbuta is muannas. Like imra'atun. So imra'atun is muannas. Another example is salatun. Salatun is muannas. Let's have another example. Zakatun. Zakatun is also muannas. These are the three signs of muannas. These three words are muannas because these three words have taye tanis in the end, which is the one of the sign of muannas. Now, second sign is any word which ends with the ya having a standing zabar on it or ya madda. For example, hubla. Hubla is muannas. Sugra is muannas. Why these two words are muannas? Because they both ends with ya madda, or another name of this ya madda is alif maqsura, maqsuratun. And third is a word ends with alif or hamza together. For example, bayza'u. Bayza'u has alif and hamza in the end, which means this is muannas. So these three are the sign of muannas. If any of these three signs found in the ending of any word, that word is 100% muannas. For now we can say that muannas. Okay, now, so any word having one of these three signs in its ending is ism, and a word having a sign of ism is muannas, and a muannas which has one of these sign is known as muannas qiyasi. Muannas qiyasi. Okay, so what is muannas? Muannas is a word having one of the sign of muannas. Muannas are two types. One is muannas qiyasi and another one is muannas simai, the hard one. Muannas qiyasi is a muannas. Okay, now let me explain this again. So type of ism based on gender. So one is Muzakkar and another one is Muannas. Then Muannas are of two types. Muannas are of two types. One is Muannas Qayasi and another one is Muannas Simai. Now, what is Muannas Simai? Sorry, first, what is Muannas Qayasi? Muannas Qayasi is a type of Muannas in which any of the three signs of Muannas found in a word. So what is Muannas Qayasi? Muannas Qayasi is a Muannas in which any of the three signs of Muannas, whether that is Ta Tanis or Ya Madda or Alif Hamza, any of these signs actually present in the word itself, those type of Muannas are known as Muannas Qayasi. Let me give you the three examples of all these three signs. Example of Ta Tanis is Imra'atun or Salatun or Zakatun. Second sign is Ya Madda or Alif Maksura, which example is Hubla. Another example is Sugara, and the example is Kubra. And the third type sign of Muannas, that is Alif or Hamza in the ending. So consider this is a Hamza. I don't have the actual Hamza font in my computer. So that Ya having Hamza on the top. So it's Hamza. First example is Bayza'u. Another example is Humra'u. And the last example is Zarqa'u. You don't have to worry about the meaning right now. Just remember, I gave you the three examples of all these three signs. These types of Muannas in which the actual sign of Muannas is actually present in the word itself are known as Muannas Qayasi. Now let's learn about Muannas Simai. What is Muannas Simai? So I think you do have already the idea. You already have some idea on some level that what is Muannas Simai. It's just the opposite of Muannas Qayasi. Muannas Simai are the Muannas in which the sign of Muannas are not found in word. We assume these Muannas by listening Arabians. So Muannas Simai are those type of Muannas Simai is the category of Muannas in which there are no sign of Muannas found in the word itself, but actually we heard the Arabians using any word as a Muannas, and then we also start using those words as Muannas because of course it's their language, we have to follow their rule. So in Muannas Qayasi, generally the Arabians use three types of ism, we can also say that in Muannas Simai, there are three kind of Muannas what we heard from the Arabians using those words as Muannas. One is any body parts in pairs. Body parts in pairs are Muannas, even though they do not have any sign of mounnus because they are mounnus simai. One is yadun, which means hand. Another one is uznun, which means ear. Another one is ainun, which means eye. All these three words are mouannus, but they do not have any of the sign of mouannus in them. But they are mouannus. Why they are mouannus? Because we heard Arabians using these body parts as a mouannus. Second example. Any words related to woman. Of course, a word related to woman is mouannus, like ummun, which means mother, bintun, which means daughter, arusun, which means bride. All these words are mouannus, but still they do not have any sign of mouannus on it. Third one is country names. Country names are also mouannus, like al-Misr, without al-Misr, Asham, or Rome. All these words are mouannus. So these are mouannus simai. So what we understood so far? Types of ism based on gender. There are two types of ism, muzakkar and mouannus. Mouannus then divided into two parts. First part is mouannus qiyasi, a mouannus which does have one of the sign of mouannus in the word, and mouannus simai, which does not have any sign of mouannus. We have to memorize it. Now see, what about the sign of muzakkar? What are the sign of muzakkar? So there are no actual sign of muzakkar. Any word which is not muannas is muzakkar. That's it. Any word which is not muannas is muzakkar. But if there is any word which is only related to men, then those words will be muzakkar. Those words will be muzakkar even after the sign of mouannus found on it. For example, let's say Khalifa. Khalifatun. Khalifatun has mouannus sign. Talhatu having mouannus sign. On both word, mouannus sign is found, but still these two words are muzakkar, not mouannus. What is the reason behind it? Because these two words especially belong to the male category, not female. Khalifa belongs to the male and Talha is a name of a male. That's why these two words with sign of mouannus on it known as muzakkar, not mouannus. That's all in the today's lesson for muzakkar and mouannus. Now we are going to learn about the other types of ism. Now we are going to learn about the types of ism based on proper and common. There are two types of ism based on proper and common. One is ma'arifa, ma'arifatun. Another one is nakiratun. Okay, so the ism has been divided into two parts based on proper and common. One is marifa and another one is nakira. Okay, so what is marifa and what is nakira? Let me explain you this. Marifa is proper word or ism, and nakira is improper or common word. Okay, what is the meaning of proper and common? In simple way, we can say that, just suppose if I am saying Quran, by hearing the word Quran, you do understand that this is a special book, a religious book. By hearing Quran, you do not mean the book of science or maths or social science or any other religious books. You understood that what is Quran. It means there is a special place in your heart and in your mind about Quran. So once you heard about Quran, you understood well what is Quran. But simply just an opposite. Let's say I'm saying kitabun. Kitabun means book. It is just any book. Now, by hearing kitabun, you do not understand the exact meaning of the book here, like what type of book I am seeking. It can be any book, whether it is religious, it's a book of mathematics or science or English or anything, because that book kitabun is a common word which can have a multiple different types of book, which comes under the category of book. But this is not similar with the Quran. When you are saying Quran, Quran is just a book. You cannot just add any other book as a Quran. Another example, when I am saying rajulun, rajulun means man. It means any man. It can be Zaid, Umar, Bakar, anyone. But when I am saying Zaid, it means I am talking about Zaid, not Umar, not Bakar, not any other name. So that's the difference of proper and common. Now, let's learn about types of marifa first. How any can able to understand which word is marifa? So we are going to learn about the types of marifa. There are total 7 types of marifa. First one is a name. Naming word, or we can say proper noun, or in Arabic we can say Alam. Names in Arabic are marifa. For example, when I'm saying Zaid, it's marifa. Bakr, it's marifa. Fatima, it's marifa. Zainab, it's marifa. Kaaba, it's marifa. All these words are marifa because they all are the names of very specific thing, place or person. Second one is any word start with alif lam. Any word just start with alif lam, like ar-rajulu, it means a special man. Al-kitabu, a special book. Al-qalamu, a special pen. All these words are marifa. Why? Because they all are having alif lam on it. Third is munada. What is munada? Let's understand this with a simple example. Suppose there are few children's play. And here are you. Here you are. Okay. Now suppose you are calling this boy. Not by name, you are just saying, oh boy. Because if you take the name is already marifa, so there is no name, it doesn't make any sense. So you are not taking any name, you simply calling someone, oh boy, come here. Apart from all these children, you are calling the one boy, this one. So this is munada. Okay, this is munada. And the person who is calling, that is you will be known as munadi. Munada, the someone who is being called, munadi, the caller. And the word you are using to call is known as harfe nida. Now, see. In Arabic language, we generally use ya to call someone. Like ya waladu, oh boy. Ya rajulu, oh man. So here ya is harfe nida and walad and rajul respectively are munada. Third is muzaf ilal marifa. What is muzaf ilal marifa? First understand this by example. When I am saying kitabun, it can be any book, right? Any book. But when I am saying kitabu zaidin, now this is not just a common book. Now we are talking about a book which especially belongs to Zaid. So Zaid is a name and it is marifa. So now we are creating a relation between Zaid and book. So now this book is no longer a common book. Why? Because now this book belongs to Zaid. So its muzaf ilay is marifa. That's why the kitabu muzaf is now also marifa. So the fourth point is, whenever the honor is marifa, its possession is also going to be marifa, considered as marifa. So whenever muzaf ilay is marifa, its muzaf will be also marifa. Now the fifth point. Fifth point is ismu ishara, which we are going to learn later. Sixth is ismu mausul, again later. 7 is zamir, again later. These are the 7 types of marifa which we are going to learn later inshallah in the upcoming lessons. Now let's learn about the sign of nakira. What are the sign of nakira? Nothing. Simple a tanween. Any word having tanween on it is nakira. Rajlun, a common man. Qalamun, a general pen. Kitabun, a general book. But if you are saying ar-rajulu, now it's a specific man. Al-qalamu, a specific pen. Al-kitabu, a special book. So see the difference between alif lam and tanween. That's why in Arabic we cannot add alif lam as well as tanween on any word at the same time together. It is impossible. Why? Because tanween is the sign of nakira and alif lam is a sign of marifa, and you cannot just put the both sign of marifa and nakira together at the same time on any word, because it will not make any sense whether it is marifa or nakira. They both have both signs present on at that word on the same time. That's why either we use alif lam or we use tanween. So whenever you use tanween, alif lam is removed, and if you want to use alif lam, then we have to remove the tanween. That's the rule. And why this rule is followed? Because tanween is a sign of nakira and alif lam is a sign of marifa, and any word cannot have both sign of marifa and nakira at the same time. Again, now I'm saying Zaid or Muhammad or Bakrun. All these words are names of a specific person, but they all have tanween on it, sign of nakira. So now the question is whether we should consider all these words as marifa or nakira. So just remember, every naming words, they will always have tanween on it, but they will still marifa, they are marifa, not nakira. These are the exceptions. Any word which having tanween is nakira, except naming words or proper nouns, they do have tanween, but they are considered as marifa, not nakira. That's for today's lesson. I hope you understood this well. In the upcoming lesson, inshallah, we are going to learn about the wahid, tasniya, jama, and i'rab, inshallah. And we have completed muzakkar, muannas, and marifa nakira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.